English is a lingua franca having spread all over the world. In places where English hasn't outright replaced native languages, it's created tense situations. And you don't even have to look that far from England to see how that tension still exists today. Just hop across the Irish Sea to find a language that has gone through a lot. Irish. We should first bust a common linguistic misconception about the Irish language. The Irish language in Irish is called Gaeilge or Gaelic. Because of this, Irish and Gaelic are often conflated, but they're not the same language. Gaelic generally refers only to Scottish Gaelic, which is a language that broke off from Ireland centuries ago. Heard you a video about Gaelic, so I'm here.
No, get out of here.
But let's go back to the beginning. Irish is a very old language, with the earliest writings dating back to the 4th century CE. In the same way that English didn't start as modern English, this early Irish was called Primitive Irish. Over the centuries, it naturally evolved into Early Irish and then Middle Irish, as languages tend to do. Also during this period, the Irish language spread over to Scotland and the Isle of Man. In the 12th century, the language started making its final turn into what historians would call Modern Irish. It was also during this period that the Irish spoken in Scotland started branching off into its own language, Scottish Gaelic, and the Irish in the Isle of Man became Manx. In Ireland, the Irish language's status was threatened several times throughout its history, particularly from the English. England tried to conquer Ireland several times, and they finally achieved their goal in the early 17th century after several bloody conflicts, including the Desmond Rebellions and the 9 Years' War. Though even after taking majority position in the Irish Parliament in 1614, the English struggled to maintain control. The two weren't officially unified until 1801, when they became the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. But as the English took power in the 17th and 18th centuries, the government started encouraging the use of the English language by creating schools, applying societal pressure, and even changing the names of places on maps and signs. By the time of the Union, Ireland was diglossic. Diglossia means that there are two languages, both actively used, though usually the languages play slightly different roles. In Ireland, English became the language of government and the church, while Irish was still the language of people and day-to-day life. Despite English efforts to stamp out the language completely, Irish survived until Ireland regained its independence in 1922. Irish didn't suddenly flourish after independence though, and the decades since then have been a slow road to recovery. Today, Irish is an official and national language of Ireland, but most government business is held in English. In 2016, a census in Ireland found only about 10.5% of respondents spoke Irish on a regular basis. Though there are rural parts of the country referred to as the Gaeltacht, where Irish is still used as a first language. Irish survives because it remains an integral part of the country's identity. The legacy of English in the country has made Irish a refuge away from the language that was forced on them. English may be more useful in the broader world, but language perhaps counterintuitively is about more than usefulness. Which is why groups like Conrad na Gaeilge are working to make sure the Irish language is still being taught in schools, written on road signs, and generally kept alive. Irish, like other languages that face colonial oppression, have survived for hundreds of years. And with work, they'll be able to survive for hundreds more.